ask me a question. I'll take it from there.
Okay. Damn focus. It wants to focus on the wine and not you. There it is. There it is. Good, good. So today we've got something very, very special for you all. We've come to the legendary Friends Bar here in Zhongshan, one of the oldest bars in Zhongshan. I'm very, very happy that the owner Gary gave us this opportunity to come here and share some amazing wines. And I've got my own local wine expert with me. This is Mark Curtis. Mark, how long have you been in China?
I've been here 11 years, but been coming for 15.
As you guys know, I love wine, but I don't know enough about wine, especially Chinese wine. But that's different with you, right?
Well, I'm not going to call myself an expert in wine. I'm a wine lover. I've been fortunate to travel to 45 countries working with very high-end companies, and they always like to treat us to the best. I got very accustomed to tasting good wine. We went to Xinjiang to tour the Silk Road, and one of the places we stopped there was Turpan, which is a huge grape growing region, mostly for raisins. But when we got there, I asked the guy, "Do you have wineries here?" He goes, "Oh yeah, we do." I visited a few local wine shops and said, "What's the best wine in China?" And they all said
Great Wall.
No.
No. Oh, okay.
No. They all said Grace Vineyard.
Grace Vineyard.
Grace Vineyard in Shanxi,
Okay.
1A Vineyard. These two are from Grace. Has become probably the best known high quality vineyard in China. They're doing magnificent wines, which we'll taste later.
I'm looking forward to that. I mean, that's why we do these interviews, right?
Yeah.
Because you're going to break out some
I'm
really
over some of this good stuff,
amazing stuff, right? And
Yeah.
I'm going to get a chance to taste some of this
Absolutely.
too. Oh, I'm excited for that.
I went to Grace Vineyard, and they treated me so well. We tasted all of their wines, had a marvelous dinner. I was hooked. Well, at that point, I got online and secured ChinaWineTours.com because I had checked and nobody was doing wine tours here.
That's amazing.
It is
Think
amazing.
about it.
I know.
It's 1/6 of humanity
Yeah.
in this country, and they don't have wine tours.
The rest of the world, you can tour wineries everywhere.
Right,
And
yeah.
it's a great fun thing to do with friends. Started sending out press releases and all, and I got interviewed by every newspaper, magazine, television, radio station around the world because everybody's first question was, "There's wine in China?"
That's the first question,
That's the first
right?
question.
Yeah.
And the second question is always, leaded or unleaded? So
Okay.
everybody did that.
Okay.
I began tasting some of the others and was just blown away. So China Wine Tours, it's a very high-end tour. We don't do follow the girl with the flag
Okay.
tours.
Okay, fair.
It's not 50 people on a bus. It's 4 or 5 people.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little expensive, but it's worth it.
It's
you're
more
not-
intimate.
Yes,
Yeah.
because you're not just getting to taste some wine, you're getting a history of the region. Everybody that comes off that tour is just amazed. Now, you can get most of these from the vineyard itself.
Right.
Grace, you can get on some of the online shops. Helan Mountain, which is over here, you can get in better stores like BLT, Park and Shop, some of the other higher end grocery stores. Jade Valley, you can only buy direct from the winery.
Yeah, so you're not getting these at the local Walmart or Carrefour.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
But that's what makes these bottles particularly special, in your opinion, because not only are they great wines, according to you, and we're going to taste it in a second, but they're also quite rare and a little more difficult to find. And as we all know, there's an element of tastefulness when it comes to that. If you're drinking something a little bit more rare, a little bit more special,
Yeah.
right?
And the nice thing is, the prices on most of these is very reasonable.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right, because I've been in some wine shops here, and some of the bottles are astronomical, especially the foreign wines. Sure.
But we also have the lower end at 88 RMB.
Wow.
You could buy that and drink it every day.
I think that's one of the cheaper prices I've seen here in China,
Yeah.
even at the metro.
Yes, most of them are around 250.
Okay.
So it's very reasonable for very good wine. You can go higher. You can go 300, 500, 600. But why? If you can get great wine at a reasonable price, there you go.
You've seen the growth of
Yes.
everything here.
It was unknown.
Sure.
I helped get that going. And there's other people like Jim Boyce of the Grape Wall of China,
Okay.
who does a great blog of Chinese wines. I originally didn't realize that there were so many good wines and that they had been producing for so long. There is about 2,300 year written history of Chinese wines. But who knew it? Yeah.
Well, when you think about Chinese wine, you obviously think of Baijiu, right? Yeah.
But no, grape wine. What we have now is these amazing boutique wineries. Now there are the big ones. There's Changyu, Great Wall, Dynasty, that produce massive quantities. These boutique wineries don't produce enough to sell here and to export. Now that's changing. They're growing and growing,
right.
Particularly in the tier 1 cities that have many different wine tasting events, wine education events.
I've noticed that. I've been getting invited to an awful lot of
Good.
like wine tastings. We've invited some friends of mine to do some of this wine tasting with me, including Mingo here. And Mingo, do you like wine?
Yep.
Mark here, he's going to introduce some of these wines. I'm going to step out of the picture and I'm going to learn it along with all of you.
So what we're going to try first is the Helan Mountain Classic. And this is only 88 RMB. A very good everyday drinking wine. Helan Mountain in Ningxia is one of the great wine grape growing regions. I think around 3,000 meters. They have good rocky soil. They don't get too much rain. And really with all of these wineries, in the winter, they have to bury the vines because it's too cold, they'll die. And it's all done by hand. They don't take machines in there because they damage the vines, right? Let's try this one. Give it a little swish. Very interesting.
Not too sweet.
Not too sweet?
Yeah, it's good to drink like have dinner with family.
Yes, this is just really an entry-level Chinese wine. They have some higher-end wines. My favorite winery, I've mentioned before, is Grace Vineyard. It's a beautiful little boutique winery just over the Yellow River Plateau. Beautiful wine. And it comes all the way through because it's so amazing. Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, beautiful aroma.
Stronger.
So you can actually, ooh.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that hit you, didn't it?
Now you
Stronger.
and you can
Stronger
taste the difference
one.
between
Yeah.
between these two. This is beautiful.
I know it's from two different kind of province. So what it tastes from this two province is
good
different.
question. Yeah, good question. Yeah, because you've got different soil,
Different
different
soil.
temperatures, different altitudes,
Now hold on a second, because you're drinking one of these great wines, and you're not including me.
and each one has a particular flavor. And what they want to do is create a wine that people will go. So you're tasting one of the best.
Oh my God.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Oh my God. I've been drinking swill.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Gary is the owner of Friends Bar. He's been here for how long? How long you been in China?
28 years, buddy.
8 years, my God.
years.
And if it weren't for Gary, we wouldn't have this amazing place to come and enjoy ourselves with good live music, great food. I'm going to try your hamburger later tonight. Very excited. Now, Gary, what do you know about wine? You're a wine drinker, right?
Well, I drink a lot of wine, but again, I'm not really a connoisseur, so I'm hoping I can learn something today myself.
And you haven't had the Chinese wines.
I haven't had Chinese wine for a long time.
Well, you're in for a treat. So the first one I want you to try is the Helan Mountain.
Okay, yep.
Again, it's an everyday drinking wine, 88 RMB. You can find it in many higher end stores.
Okay, and this is from
This is from Ningxia,
Ningxia. Okay, yes.
along the Helan Mountain range.
Kind
Give
of
that a
cold
shot.
climate up there, though, is it not?
Yeah, well, that's again the problem with most of China, with the exception of Shandong. They have to bury the vines in the winter or they'll die.
Right.
And it's all done by hand. So it is a problem, but they figured out how to solve it. You know, the Chinese are very clever.
Very nice wine. Very easy drinking.
Very easy,
Very easy drinking, yes.
very reasonable price.
Yes, yes, yes.
And you know, you can sit there at home every night and have a couple of glasses of wine with your dinner or whatever.
Which is what I love to do.
That, me too. Then we have the Jade Valley.
I
Now,
like the name.
I like the name. I like the place. It is a beautiful area.
Okay, is this also Ningxia
No, this
area?
is
No?
near Xi'an.
Near Xi'an, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
About an hour outside of Xi'an.
Okay,
Beautiful
yeah,
little
yeah.
valley, beautiful green hills,
A lot of history there.
a lot of history. So this is their Cabernet.
Okay. My favorite.
It's the
my
most common.
favorite, I
And
would
this
say. I do
Cabernet
love
Merlot
Cabernet.
and Syrah are among the most common varieties grown here. And I think that really stems from you know, the French, when they brought their wines in, it was mostly Cabernet, Merlot,
yes.
that kind. And so they learned that, and it grows great here.
little more body than this one. Mm-hmm. I like that one very, very much. Very, very nice.
Upscale.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. To me, again, being the kind of novice wine, well, not a novice wine drinker, but the non-connoisseur, it just has a little more flavor, a little more bite, a little more bite.
And it really blends well with Chinese food.
I would imagine so. And I mean, to be quite honest, I'm quite impressed already from these two wines, being Chinese wines, because it's been a long time since I've actually tried Chinese wines.
Yeah.
Excuse the pun, but they left a bad taste in my mouth years ago.
Yeah.
But hey, that's comparable to any wine that I drink now. Yeah.
And that's what the critics are saying around the world. Robert Parker, Jancis Robinson, these people are all going, hey, you guys have tapped into something here.
I mean, it's quite remarkable in just a short period of time how it's managed to develop from this infant kind of industry to something that is
respected
and quality.
Yeah, and I want you to try the Grace Vineyard Marselan. Oh, smell it.
I can't wait. Oh, that's
I know.
That's good.
Is that good?
That's good, man.
That is good wine.
Geez, I would never have thought. That is really, really good. Sorry, I didn't smell. I was just too anxious.
Try it now.
Too anxious to get in there.
Now.
Yes. Wow.
Just take a good sniff.
Wow.
Wow,
hey,
huh?
That is really good.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark, that's a very nice wine, buddy. I and this is no word of a lie. I think that's maybe the best wine I've ever had from a Chinese vineyard.
Well, definitely from a Chinese vineyard.
Yeah, that is something very, very special.
While they're talking, I'm gonna pour myself and sneak one in because they can't be having all the fun without me. Yeah. So when I drink this, I feel the same thing you said. It's not only just delicious, it's just the right amount of sweet and the right amount of bite.
Sorry, buddy, but
this rocks my world.
It's calling my
Yeah.
name. Thanks again.
You know, like I said before, I've visited 45 countries. I've tasted incredible wines around the world.
Yes.
And I never thought Chinese wines would compete.
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
You've tapped into something quite remarkable there, Mark.
This is only 257 RMB.
What?
Reasonable.
Yeah.
Very reasonable.
Only 257 for a bottle.
Yeah. And most people, particularly in the U.S., are going to try it as a novelty.
Yes.
And they're going to try what they get from Great Wall Chengyu Dynasty.
Yes.
And go,
Yes.
because they're going to get the cheaper ones.
Yes.
And they're going to go, well, that was fun, but no. If they can get this, if they can,
it's going to change a lot of minds.
it will.
It's
Yes.
going to change a lot of minds.
The well-known critics have all said the same thing. They're all saying this is magic.
It is magic. No, I totally agree with that. I'm by no means an expert, but I know what I like, and that is very, very tasty. I was hoping I would learn something today, and I certainly learned something today.
That's-
and I appreciate that.
Our wine tasting friends here, I think what we've learned here is that China wine, it's becoming world class.
Thank you for sharing all of the knowledge.
Yes,
I learned a lot
indeed.
today.
Yeah.
As a Chinese.
Well, we've had a great time here today. Mark, thank you for your expertise. ChinaWineTours.com, and of course, thank you, Gary, for opening up Friends Bar. This is the place to be if you're ever in Zhongshan. I think we've learned a lot here, and I hope that you all have access to these wines. If not, go to ChinaWineTours.com. Go anywhere you can to try these wines. If you're a wine lover, you got to try something new. Thank you all very much for joining us, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, in vino veritas. Cheers.